speaking of cunning stunts, you guys might be familiar with this lady. I'm not. I'm loosely aware of the fact that she once owned a gym and cheated on her husband with a sex guru who was a trainer there, and is now sleeping with a guy who got fired from RSBN for having bad taste. So I don't know much about her. I think there was something about her. She called the lady who groped the dude at Beetlejuice a little bitch on the House floor in Congress, and was expelled from the Freedom Caucasians for being insufficiently freedomy or Caucasian. I think one or the other. But she had a closed door meeting with Elon Musk and about the DOGE, the DOGE folks. Just in. I like to break news. Hit that like, subscribe, share the show, etc., etc. DOGE comedy hire. Major Taylor Greene details closet door meeting with with Leon Stunk. Okay.
Could you share what Elon Musk was talking with you about in the meeting? Major takeaways? What was discussed?
The major takeaways is the American people's money has truly been stolen through an incredible amount of fraud.
That's it. Major news. Incredible amount of fraud. The American people's money has been stolen. Fraud. It was supposed to go here, and it went into somebody else's pocket or somewhere else, or didn't go anywhere at all, or just they set fire to it like the Joker. Fraud. But tell us about the fraud, lady. And there's so much of it, I'm sure she won't be able to get to all of it. But fraud. You were saying fraud.
And all types of improper payments.
All types of improper payments. Oh, well. We wouldn't want to be improper now, would we? Oh, so what are these payments that were improper? Yes, didn't have a bow tie. No, didn't lift their pinky when they signed the check. Improper. Oh, untoward, one might say. No. Yes.
It was actually the first hearing I held, which I think sounded super boring to a lot of people because it
was. Yeah, because it's not reality television and you're in a government fucking job, lady.
Medicare and improper payments. But
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said lady. I think I misgendered her.
The things that they've discovered is how Social Security numbers have been used. And these are for dead people.
Dead people have been misusing Social Security numbers and fraud. So we got to get rid of Social Security, people. It is just massive, massive fraud. And they discovered numbers that dead people were using.
That are over.
Like the sixth number, which has to do with sense. It's common sense. It's dollars and cents. 6 cents. Yeah, I see dead people's Social Security checks.
115 years old, and how basically criminals have been able to take these Social Security numbers, and we're able to get things like small business loans. We're able to get all types of money taken from federal government programs, and basically.
Oh, you mean like PPP loans? Like, because I think I saw something. That, yeah. Yeah, Congress, members of, yeah, I knew I had a list of these. These would be PPP loans that were forgiven. Matt Gaetz, $476,000 PPP loan. Huh. Consider, I mean, that's a lot of PPs he likes to look at, so that makes sense. And then Marjorie Taylor Greene, $180K. Just forgiven. You just got to keep that. And right as you got elected, it was weird. The money that went straight into your campaign, that the person you're running against didn't have that $180K, I guess. Huh. My goodness. Oh, look. Remember Mark Wayne Mullen? It's too bad, Mark Wayne Mullen. You share a list with. I know you don't like, allegedly you don't like Matt Gaetz, but you got double his number. He got 476,000. You got 988.7. There you go. I think the most impressive one is Roger Williams in Texas. Trump just congratulated him. Remember, he brought up Roger Williams recently. 1.4 million. Brett Guthrie, Republican in Kentucky, $4.3 million for what? So I'm sure DOGE is clawing back that money right away. So did you write him a check or?
Stolen it all. So this is something we had a very detailed meeting with Elon and his team with the DOGE committee, and we look forward to holding some very impactful hearings going forward.
Yeah, so very impactful hearings. Hold on, I got to figure out who this fucking Brett Guthrie motherfucker is. Brett Guthrie, what? Okay, Guthrie votes for Paycheck Protection Program and how we created a PPP to help business keep funds working in Kentucky alone. Nearly 24,000 loans versus worth 4.1 billion. Guthrie statement on Paycheck. There you go. There you go. Bowling Green, hey, where Corvettes are made. Congressman Brett Guthrie today released the below statement on the Paycheck Protection Program. Small businesses are hurting right now. This is April 16, 2020. Especially his. I support the CARES Act to create PPP to help businesses continue to pay employees and certain business expenses. PPP is designed to keep businesses open, but sadly, businesses can no longer access the program until funds are replenished. I urge my colleagues to pass emergency additional funding for the PPP so more second district businesses can benefit from this critical program, including me, to the tune of $4.3 million, ladies and gentlemen. $1 million.
What do you make of the proposal to put all of this into rescissions packages and basically get it formalized by Congress?
Well, it's an extremely important part of this. Is any type of DOGE cuts, we've got to work into our legislation and work into our budgets and appropriation.
No, you don't. No, Trump can just erase it. You've given him line item veto power just through a back door, as it were, which seems to be, according to Brian Glenn, a thing with you.
And that's a large amount of planning that's happening. I think.
Ooh, a large amount of planning. Very efficient. Yeah, unlike normal government shit.
What's exciting for the American people is this is very bipartisan. And this might be one of the first things that the American people could see coming from Washington, D.C., where we're literally talking about money that is being used in fraudulent ways and being stolen by criminals. And I think it's something the American...
Really? First of all, no. Secondly, what took you so fucking long? You guys are the ones that want to gut the FBI. You don't think the FBI and the DOJ's arm goes after this shit?
People care about it. Certainly has been like a #1 issue.
And so, ma'am, what was his top line message on there tonight?
I don't know how to sum it up in a top line message, but primarily that basically the American people have been robbed blind, and it's happening through improper payments, fraud.
Improper, fraud, that's stuff you don't like. Fraud is stuff you can't prove.
And a lot.
And by the way, wouldn't fraud be easy? Especially in this case. Are you, sir, come down here. Here's your subpoena. Are you 135 years old? On advice of my counsel, I refuse to answer on the grounds that it may incriminate me. Because at 115, I would owe back taxes to the 1800s. And also, so if you're 115, did you also start your own bespoke truck nuts company, which seems like an untoward business for someone of your age and gentrification? Define truck nuts. Representative Greene, can you push your hair back so they can see your earrings? Thank you.
Systems that are just so old and outdated, computer systems that can't even work together between departments.
Why would they have to? For real. Why? They aren't overlapping departments.
Some federal government agencies and departments are actually hiring third-party vendors to hold their data instead of having their own systems that can communicate within the federal government.
What? Wait, whoa, wait a second. Are you telling me that the federal government is using private industry to do stuff when they could do it cheaper and more efficiently? Yeah. For fuck's sake, people. I mean, you get the point. That's what she's arguing here. Why are we hiring private businesses to do stuff we could do cheaper in-house as the government? You're fucking kidding me, right? Again, that's what I said. Give Republicans enough responsibility and ramifications to failing that responsibility high enough, and suddenly they start sounding like fucking Democrats. Well, for real, what the fuck is that?
Discussion in the room about, folks who are losing their jobs, federal workers who are out of work.
No, we're talking about fraud and money being stolen. And
so not your PPP loans.
listen, in the private industry, unfortunately, there's downsizing that happens and people lose their jobs. We're $36 trillion in debt. The American people can't afford it anymore. So no, that wasn't discussed.
Well, it depends. There was a point where after the 2008 crisis, there were banks that were giving out bonuses, and people were like, oh my God, if these banks are crashing, why are they handing out bonuses? Well, they were handing out bonuses and hiring people and giving them incentives to get them out from under the financial problems. If you worked hard enough and you were valuable in your job, you could actually help us solve this issue from the other side, right? So what happens if you don't know what anybody does for a living and you fire the very people that would make it more efficient and save the government money, as opposed to, because these are the newer people in, like all the DOGE people are, probationary hires. If they were hired to the government, they would qualify as probationary hires, right? So why are the people in all these other departments suddenly less worthwhile if they don't have, if it's an entrenched problem, if it's it's been going on forever, and every time you turn around, we've been trying to fix this for years and we can't do it. It wouldn't be the people who've been there the longest that you would think would be could solve the problem. It would be the new people who have got fresh ideas, but those are the people who are getting fired first. Now, don't get me wrong. I think a lot of the people who are working there and have been working there for a long time have earned their keep and shown that they are good at their job for a very long time, and there's a hierarchy for a reason. And some of the new people might have great ideas, and they might not. They might even just view it as a temporary job because the government needs workers for a period of time, and that's why they're probationary, because they're not they have no intention of permanently, pulling their family out of Oklahoma and moving to D.C. or wherever they have to go to work on this. So there's a mix, but it will require, again, surgery and not a meat cleaver.
Did you come away with more of a process for how this was being put into law, go being DOGE identifying this and it being made?
Yes, as the chair of the DOGE committee, I am walking away with major tools that I can use. And
the room was full of tools.
Very much look forward to having impactful hearings. Yeah.
Yes, we're going to have impactful hearings with tools. I hope to be one of those tools. I feel like I am a tool, I feel like that y'all don't understand what even a tool does, but we are working very hard. Jesus Christ.